Good afternoon, everybody. How you doing? Sweet Paddy from across the shock again, and back at you with a 3 for Thursday, because it's Thursday and I've got 3 knives here. And this is going to be a different sort of a Thursday, and the question I've sort of put in the title will be something like, what makes us choose any particular kind of knife? That's a big wide open thing, but I've got 3 knives here that were sent to me for review by companies. Now, they asked me and I said, yes, I'd like to give them a go. And if I don't like something, it won't go on the channel, as you know. But these ones have challenged me. And they've challenged me in ways that I just wonder what other people, what their thought processes is. So down below, please let me know what your thought process is in these type of knives. And they're what I would call fancy pants knives. Now, not overly expensive fancy pants knives, but they are different. They are knives that I'm not used to using. I'll just get started, shall I? So we're going to start with this one, because then this is a reveal, because this one's just been released. I've had it for a week or so now, so I know what it is. But here's this one. This is a Kubey. Now, they'd asked me to send a knife, and the girl had forgotten when we were on. This is a late at night phone call, or not a phone call. Well, it was, yeah, a phone call. And she'd said, okay, I'll send you a knife. And I thought she would get back to me. We're in the middle of a conversation. I thought she would get back and ask me what sort of Kubey I would like. But she had forgotten. And the next day I got a notification saying it was in the post and on the way to me. And she says, oh, by the way, I forgot to ask you what it was, so I've just sent you one, which is absolutely fine. You know, it's a joy when a company will send you something to review. But again, if I hadn't liked it, I wouldn't have put it on the channel. Now, the reason that I'm a bit confused with it is that it's a chunker. I'm not really into chunker knives. I like a big work knife like this, which is not much longer, but it is a bit thinner in the back, with a different opening mechanism, which doesn't really matter. But that's it. This is a Kubey as well. I love this big Kubey as a work knife. And then I get this chunker in, which is, there's nothing wrong with a chunker. They're nice in the hand. They fill your hand. And if you're going to beat on them, it'll be good. But my quandary is with this knife, and I haven't done the reviews in these because of some of these brainwaves, and there's 3 of them, so it really made for a good 3 for Thursday. Look at that G10. That is absolutely fantastic looking G10. Where did we go from getting this flat, bland G10 to this? This is smooth, but it's grippy. Look at that. Look at, watch my finger. It's grippy. It's stunning. It's stunning looking for G10. This to me could change the face of colourful knives throughout all the brands. If you can do this on G10 in this is a moderately priced knife. God, I can't wait to what we're going to get in the future. What a change. How pleasant looking is G10. I mean, I love my carbon fibre, but that's every bit as nice, to be honest. It really is, although, it's a bit flat, but there isn't movement, but there is that just stunning looking. But here's the other part that really confuses me. This blade, and it's a lovely snub-nosed, real worker beefy blade. But I don't understand why you would put Damasteel on a knife like this. Is this the sort of knife you out there would have in your collection or would want for a hard use knife? Because to me, this is what this should be, a hard use knife. But yet, that beautiful Damasteel, I've never used Damasteel hard, so I don't know what it's like or how it holds up. And again, if you have this sort of knife, or this one in particular, does this Damasteel hold up, or will it scratch? To me, it looks like it would scratch pretty easily. So that wouldn't put it into a hard use. And I would have thought, and again, I'm not a metallurgist. I don't know much about metal. I'm not sure what the makeup. I believe this will be in the 9CR sort of bracket, I would have thought, of Damasteel. But besides that, look how beautifully that is. It really has been beautifully done. I mean, there is a real skill to doing this. Now, that huge big thumb stud on it as well, all adds to this big, bulky, heavy knife. It's not over heavy. But it's, I forgot to say, maybe you've seen this. I'm not sure what weight it is now. Now, let's just see. It is 4.9, 5 ounces. So it's not over heavy for what it's meant to be. In my eyes, is a big chunk. I can't tell you how comfortable it is in the hand. And that G10, it's just stunning. The clip disappears into into the back of your hand. Gorgeous. But I'm finding it very hard to review because I don't want to do my usual test, which could damage the blade. Because I'm giving this away to one of my friends. You know who it is. But he likes this sort of smaller, chunky knife. So I don't want to damage it. But has anybody ever had this and done any substantial work with it that you can let me know what this like? I think it's beautiful. I just don't understand this. If I was going to buy this, I'd want it in just a plain blade. Or a blacked out blade or a stonewash blade would be lovely. Or a blackwash blade would be really nice. Now, they do different varieties of this. Don't get me wrong. Go to a Kubey, wherever you buy it in the States, and here in the UK, you'll have to buy from Kubey. But you can go and have a look at the different types. Kubey make a wide range of every knife of different colours and materials. So go and have a look if this is up to you. Now, this one I believe is about $94. That's nothing for what this knife is. This is a really well-made knife. And I'll tell you, right, it's a liner lock which lines up. It's lined up perfectly, but with these big thumb studs, listen to this. And it's rock solid, and I mean rock solid. There is no movement. No matter how hard I push that, there's no movement. It's gorgeous. So that's my first quandary. Just the blade steel is a bit baffling why you would put a blade steel on a G10 work knife, in my eyes. But maybe this is good enough for doing work and it's not going to damage it. Because I can think there'd be nothing worse than that beautiful Dama steel there. And it's going to be all scuffed up. But maybe I'm just being a prude. You would never know. So the next one is, and I got a great response from people out there. This is a company, James brand. Again, they approached me and said, would like your channel, like to see what you would think of our knives. I said, yes, thank you very much. And the next day there was they gave me a tracking number and said, we've sent 2 knives to you. One you can't do until after the 11th. And this one I could do. This one has been out for a while. This one is on Heine Haynes at the minute. And it's £119. That's a lot of money for this. It's beautifully made. Honestly, it is beautifully made. Chamfered. The G10 is stunning G10. Plenty of grip, but not going to rip your pockets up. This is the badge of James brand. I think it is so unusual. And if somebody knows why it is like this, or maybe they'll get back and let me know if you watch this video. I don't understand where this comes from, but it is unusual and it's nice. And James brand, or look, I'm not going to pretend I'm one of the hip chicks, but I believe this is a James brand is one of the popular young trendy brands out there that are just coming into this market. And for that, I applaud them. This is £119 in Heine. Now, it'll be cheaper in the States. I think it'll probably be cheaper anyway. They usually are. But is it worth that sort of money? And when I first came out, I had a real quandary. Is this what my subs would like to look at? And do you want to know something? I actually really am pleased that I'm pleased that I didn't turn away from it completely. And the reason why I didn't is that, yes, for its parts and components, it's 12C27. I'll show you what's in it before I tell you the price. There's this beautiful saber grind blade, just a spear point. It is sharp as a dickens, as Pete would say. It's as sharp as a dickens. Let me get a wee bit of paper right here to show you just what it's like to cut with. It is absolutely razor sharp out of the box, which is good. And I would expect that for that sort of price range. And it's an unusual looking saber, but starts off very thin. Can you see it? Starts off lovely and thin, comes down to a nice thin point, but sturdy enough. You have plenty of meat here in the blade. Beautiful. It's a slip joint. And then the other side of it, you have a pair of scissors. Look at that pad there for your finger. It's knurled pad here. Fantastic pair of scissors. And they, again, let me just show you. They are super sharp out of the box and they contact, which is nice. So it is a very functional knife. It has two fantastic, it's a multi-tool. You have a pry bar as such at the end here, or a large screwdriver. Do you know what I use? I tried it out the other day. In our bathroom, we have a lock on the inside of the bathroom, but also you've used a 10p or a coin, a quarter. You can open it up if one of the kids were in and they get stuck. This is perfect for it. Just thought I'd let you know that you can unlock my toilet if you want with your knife. But the clip is lovely. It's a good sturdy. There's not much movement in it. It's good and sturdy. Clips into the pocket, and listen to that. The retention is great in your pocket. And obviously with that G10, it's not rough, but there's enough grip in it to make sure it's not going to just pop out of your pocket. So I absolutely love it. Now, last year I went on a binge on these things, the Victorinox, and I think the minimum, now I could be wrong again, but in this size, this is 91 millimeter, 93 millimeter. What a lot of old waffle, Paddy, shut up. It's just a little bit bigger, but this is a pair of scissors. It also has a bottle opener, a can opener, and another wee spare tiny blade down there. Pair of scissors and a big blade. By the time you buy the knife and buy the micarta, this micarta covers, put a little clip on it, you're probably sitting at somewhere like 70 to 80 pounds. This is 119. So why would I buy this? One, I love the fact that I don't use them other tools, to be honest. I do like my Victorinox, and it's great if you're going away somewhere and you might use that sort of thing. But on an average day, I don't open bottles. I don't open cans. This is going to be a knife and a pair of scissors that I'm going to do. And what a lovely work knife to set in your desk, because that is the most non-threatening knife I think I've ever seen. It's even more non-threatening than the Victorinox, because you can see all the blades and all in here. But that's besides the point. But I thought, what knife would I carry this in accompaniment to? Look at that. There's a beautiful case knife in the silver and the black. Well, this is in ebony. This is a Tony Bowes sow belly, single-bladed sow belly. It's a lovely knife. And it's a knife that's got a signature all on it. It's a knife I love to carry, but I wouldn't want that signature all rubbed off it because it is a fancy pants knife. So a bit of string, cut a bit of paper, that's what I want to use this. And having this in my pocket really does blend well. I mean, the thickness is not much more than this, and it clips in the top of my pocket. This would always be in a sheath if I'm taking it out, in the bottom of my pocket. So there I have the perfect opportunity to decide which knife I'm going to pull out or which pair of scissors I'm going to pull out. So I'm really, really coming around to this knife. Yes, for us mere mortals, and I'm on a pension, whatever, this is quite a pricey knife. But is it good? Yeah, it's really good, I'm afraid. Do you know, I'm sorry to tell you it's good. Now, are you going to get into the hype train with the James brand? They've got so. Do you know what I really, really fancy now? Now that I've had them in hand, and this is always a problem. Until you have something in hand, you can never really tell what these idiots like myself are sitting there pointing out. They can point out things that look good, put them in your hand, you mightn't like them. And this is the thing. James brand have been not brave enough. I mean, I'm not that bad of a channel, but they've been nice enough to reach out to me and give me an opportunity to have this in my hand and use it and see it. I really do like it. Am I going to recommend it? Do you want to know something? It's your money. You decide what you want to buy for your collection. And a bit like myself, don't let anybody put you off. Trying something like this in hand makes a huge difference. This is lovely. I've been using it constantly. The scissors are amazing on it. The knife is as sharp as it thickens. I've even had the strop, but I used it that much. It's only 12 CR13. It's not going to last for weeks and weeks. But for what my use, it's going to last me any day. And then I can also carry one of my nice fancy knives out with it. And a nice pairing, and a little black torch. You've got it. Black pen, you've got it all there. Beautiful picture for Instagram. But also a lovely carry. So what else have they sent me? Well, here we go. We'll set this over here, and it comes in the James brand. And I know this is a bit of a different 3 for Thursday, but I fancied a chat. I fancied a wee chat. So this has just been released on the 11th. I don't think Heine has any yet, but you can go to James brand on the interwebby thing and have a check out with them. So you get this lovely box that it comes in. I really do like the packaging. Again, it's not over expensive packaging, but it's the sort of expense that I want for something I'm going to pay £119 for. And it suits it. And it's that brand, that in crowd. This is for, who's this for? Well, I flipping like it. It's for me. A bit of a rough round the edges old sailor, that's on a bit. I really like it, and I will carry this without a shadow of a doubt. I will be carrying this. Once I've done my reviews and the knives go away, this ain't going away, because although for me it would be an expensive buy for me if I was personally buying it, but I still love it. I still love it. I really do. And what they've come out with now is this, which that one's a scissors, and this one is called, oh God, I've forgotten the flipping name of it. Must have it on here somewhere. Yes, there we go. This is called the Ellis Slim, and this is in black stainless, which is 12C27 G10 straight blade. They also do them with serrated blades if that's your jam. See, I'm getting trendy already. Jam. Look at this. It's that beautiful little blade that I mentioned on there, but it's just a single one. I flipping love it. Now, I know you could talk about Victorinox. They have their aluminium ones and all. I prefer this. This to me looks like a lovely little knife. Again, it's a multi-tool because you have a little pry bar on it. And it's deep carry. I mean, it's UK legal. It's legal anywhere in the world. And I just think if you don't want to be one of the crowd and carry a Victorinox, and you want something that looks a little bit more elegant and a little bit more hip, lovely metal shield there with that pattern on it. I'm dying to find out what this pattern is. But easily to open because the hole goes right through the blade. It's not a nail nick. It goes right through the blade. So you can pinch it and the fats of your finger pulls it out. Very easy, not hard. Snaps into a really firm. And listen to that. That's really good. Really lovely firm blade, but again, razor sharp out of the box. So I don't know what price this is yet. You'll have to go on to James brand and check that out. I will do it and have it for when I do the video. This is the sort of just your first look at this. So this is the Ellis Slim if you're looking for it. I'll put the name of both these up and this model here. I'll put them both up in the description down below, or I might even fit them in the title. But no, I'll put them in the description. So the James brand, and if you look at this, right, this is the same size. It's just as a classy. You wouldn't need to carry these together. This would be to take to the office, and this would be for running about the house. This is a pajama knife. This is a tracksuit bottom. Going to the weights, as if I do weights, but going to the gym or anything. What a beautiful knife for man or woman. That is a stunning little knife there for a lady to clip in her bag. And I don't think it looks, it looks less obvious of a knife than a Victorinox does, to be honest with you. It's just trendy. And do you have to buy a trendy knife? No, you don't. But it's your money. And if you want to look trendy, and I think these would make, even an old fella like me taking that knife out there, it's the most non-threatening knife I think I've ever seen that is very capable, very well made. I can't find fault on them. I'm sure there's some boys out there could find a fault, but to me, it's perfectly well put together. I think they're all set. It's just 2 screws to take this apart. And they look, that's T8 and that looks like a T6, I would believe. But just a beautiful knife. I honestly really do like it. And it confused me. And I like this. And it's confused me why I like the diamond steel. Is it something I would venture into? I've only got one knife with diamond steel. But I just think it's the wrong steel. this type of steel is the wrong for a chunky work knife. And I'd love to know what your thought is. Would you go for the normal blade? If you wanted a chunky work knife, would you buy this? I don't know. If you want this as, well, it's not really a self-defense knife even. Bit confusing. I don't know why they put it on this type. It is beautifully well done, like these, beautifully well done. This one is more, are you willing to pay the price for this type of a look? You know, the honest answer for me is I don't know. I think it's too far out of my comfort range, but I'm a pensioner. And, I'm buying knives from the channel that are much more expensive, so I can't put that down. But I would... Do you want to know they're worth it if you want it? And that's what all knives should be. Not what somebody tells you should have. Not buying it because it's the sort of the knife that everybody has to have. This is stand out from the crowd sort of stuff. Now, I don't want to be over dramatic, but it is. If you're a lady, especially, that you got a handbag and you want a little thin knife, you can slip into it. Or I would say this would go in a lady's front pocket in her jeans. How cool is that? And especially the one with the scissors in it. Ladies do like scissors as much as us men. But, I mean, there's an option there. And just to have on a Saturday when you're going down the pub, you don't want anything threatening. You just want to have something in case you need to cut your steak up or whatever. So, I'm going to recommend them. If you could afford it and if you want that sort of trendy looking knife, I'm going to recommend them. Now, I'll do reviews on them after I've done cut tests. I just haven't had a chance. I would recommend this knife definitely, but I wouldn't have it in the Damas steel unless somebody can come back to me and say that's not going to scratch up. But like that's nearly a mirror finish. I don't think that it would have to scratch. And then I think it would look unpleasant. I'd rather have a scratch just normal blade than something as pretty as that's been destroyed by hard use, which I believe this knife is for. It's liner locked, it's fully engaged, absolutely smashing. Absolutely gorgeous. With the weight of that blade, it's going to come down. So there you go, folks. That's a different 3 for Thursday. Please let me know what your thoughts are, what your arguments are. If you think it's, well, I don't believe we've got the right to think it's daft for somebody who wants to buy something. Because, like, I bought a Sebenza at, this Sebenza to buy is about £450. Is it worth it? It is to me. I've no regrets on that whatsoever. But, this at £50 odd will still cut. So why do I buy this? And it's because of looks. I bought my Sebenza because of looks. And you're going to buy these because of looks. I mean, this is S35VM, which is a very average steel now. 12C27 is just a penknife steel, basically, to me. It's good, but it'll not last forever. So you're buying it for that brand. You're buying it because it's elegant. It's concealable as a knife for man or woman. This truly is a gender equal knife. Either one of the two would like. I reckon the women more than likely, or an office worker, having the pair of scissors on there is fantastic. But the slip going to the gym, ladies, men, wherever you're going, into a slim handbag if you're going out in the evening, just so that you're prepared. But jeans pockets for ladies, fifth pockets for men, fantastic. Super little knife. I like them both. Really am happy, and I thank James Brand for sending me them out. I would really love that Parmer. That's the one that they do. It's like the working blade, like a Stanley knife. It's called the Parmer. It's an aluminium. I just seen it this morning on Heine Haynes. It looks really fantastic as well. Another really, I think, a lady's handbag, man's pocket, table, wherever. There you go. I'm away, Paddy. Thank you very much to James Brand. Thank you very much to Kubey. I thank them both because they're knives that made me think. And isn't that a nice thing to have to... it's nice sometimes to challenge yourself to see something else. So I get it why people are saying, "Oh, James Brand's overpriced. It's one of the hip sort of." Well, yeah, it is. Why make an apology for it? It's really well made. Is it too expensive? Only you know that. But they're putting out a product that's really well made. It's got the name at the minute, and if you want to be in the in crowd, it's like having your Jordan trainers or something like that. Yeah, we all do it. Just because the knife doesn't mean there's not trendy knives and untrendy knives and just knives. But if you want Jordan trainers, you're not going to be happy with a pair of, Dunlop. And if you want a fancy trendy knife, it's a bit more expensive. But heck, if you want it, you want it. So there you go. Take care. 3 for Thursday, done and dusted. A bit different this week. But hey, that's all right, isn't it? Take care. Bye-bye now. Look at the time. Oh, God. Sorry, folks.